Hello again everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. Good evening to you, those of you down under as well. Been promising an earlier stream for a very long time in the land down under. Obviously the southern hemisphere, so everything's upside down. It's not really. Terrible joke. It's early in the morning for us in the UK, 9 AM in fact, Saturday morning, and pretty sure I've got COVID, so not feeling 100%. We'll plod through it and we'll see if we can fly the Airbus during a VATSIM event. Darwin to Cairns, or Can. Probably going to get told off with the pronunciation already. Here in Australia. Throughout the stream today, because I'm not particularly well, I might have to mute the microphone every now and again just to try and you know, get a coughing fit out of the way, that sort of thing. But I hope you guys are well. Badger, good morning. Mike, welcome. Transair, Carlito, Joey Goofy, Ian, Blown Up, MG King, welcome. R2B2MZ as well. Richard in New Zealand, welcome. Hope you're well. Gav, good evening. And we've got a few flying along today as well. We've got the little 737-600 there, the Osprey Airways PMDG 736. There's us there, the Jetstar A320 in silver. Then we've got the Jetstar Generation Tango Orange, 2 Osprey there, and that Qantas 738 just pushing back as well. So our flight, it's going to be about 2 and a bit hours. We've had clearance via PDC and a few other bits so far today, but unfortunately it's a neglected part of Australia in a way in the sim. We've got default airports both sides. There's a freeware CAN scenery enhancement, I suppose you could call it, from flightsim.to that we're using for our arrival into CAN later on, but nothing on what would ordinarily be a payware airport or freeware airport or anything like that. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Don't forget to like the stream throughout today as well, folks. If you are tuning in for the first time, welcome aboard. Ah, there's Ian as well in the background in that Virgin Australia 738. Doc, no worries. These things usually happen, don't they? Good evening to you, Doc, as well. Thank you again, as always, for planning the routes. Hayden, good morning. There we are. We'll get through it. Yeah, I'm about 75% today. That Qantas just wants to be on stream, doesn't it? Let's dive in. So boarding's complete. We've got 103 passengers on board, 2.24 tons of cargo and 10.7 tons of fuel. Now you probably think for 2 hours that is a lot of fuel, but our diversion today is Rockhampton, which is an hour and a half south of Cairns towards Brisbane. So we've got a flight time fuel of 2 hours 43 plus 45 minutes plus an hour and a half in case of diversion as well, which is madness, but that is the way it is, I suppose. We are about to be late on push, but that's fine. Although I have wound the time back a little bit. So we've had our clearance via PDC. We've been told by the controller that we are cleared to Cairns via the Palka 7 departure runway 29, routing via Palka, SOCAR, Juliet 61 Airway, Conda, climb via SID to flight level 180, departure frequency 134.1, squawk 6020, readback SID, squawk code and bay number only on 121.8. So we might as well tune into that frequency now. We popped our squawk code there as well, and we've got our pre-flight or our routing and everything already into the MCDU. We need to complete the performance page though for our takeoff data, and now we can go post-boarding into our performance calculations and sync that load sheet once more. Cairns. Is it Cairns? Was it Cairns? Cairns or Cairns? You guys will tell me. So 151 for rotating V1 speeds, 152 for V2, oh no, 154, sorry. Transition altitude's 10,000 feet, and because of the short runway, but also our our weights today as well. We're going to be departing flap 2. Trimble horizontal stabilizer set to up 0.2 degrees, flex of 56 degrees. Kevin, thank you, buddy.
Darwin, ground, Osprey 722, request taxi.
Osprey 722, thanks. You can taxi Echo 2, hold short runway 29.
Taxi Echo 2, hold short runway 29.
Now, for those of you looking at starting on the VATSIM network,
thanks for your patience. You can follow the 737.
Australia's a pretty good place to start in a way, because a lot of the controllers here are very chill. They're very accommodating, very cool, and it is nice actually, to be fair. Brad, hello buddy. Member for 7 months now. Thank you for your ongoing support. And you're most welcome. I've been saying in the Discord server now, Gav will know as well, and Ian, we've been on about trying to do an earlier stream for a little while, and the last few that I've planned haven't really worked out, so today certainly wasn't going to cancel. Right, is that done. Cost index of 18, flight level 370 for cruise altitude. Thrust reduction at 1081. Let's get the APU started. We've got all our custom views again in the Fenix. You can see it's all actually quite busy over there. And we've got to cross the runway. Although that's going to be interesting. Where have they actually gone? Oh, there is a taxiway there.
722, you can continue taxi cross 29. Taxi via Echo 1 to the Alpha 6 holding point, runway 29.
Easy. Depends on where you want to go, really.
Continue Echo 1 to the Alpha 6 holding point, runway 29, Osprey 722.
Adam, yeah, that is normal sometimes. It all depends on your performance data and the length of the runway and the weather and everything else. So if it suggests flap 3, I'll probably go with that sometimes. Certainly Skiathos would be one of those. Oh no, Ian, I've been promising it for a while. I don't like to disappoint people. And you guys are always staying up really late into the early hours of the morning to watch streams at 1300 Z. So the least I could do is bring one to 9Z for you guys in Australia, New Zealand, the Far East as well. So those of you watching in the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, South Korea, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we go clear for departure, 7 departures, Squawk 4577, bay number 25. Just at 129.
Right, the door's shut, seatbelt sign, lights and signs. Let's prep for pushback. And by the way, I'll put it here actually, on the flow widget, Fritz pointed out the other day, there's a landing rate widget now for flow. So I've disabled the FS Hub pop-up that we get usually on arrival, and I've actually got this now, the landing rate selected here. So I'm not sure how it works or what it's going to look like, but effectively when we arrive, I'm hoping that we're going to get some snazzy little pop-up there. I'm listening for the accent. Get our final load sheet while she's getting the ground pin inserted.
Departure checks completed.
Jetstar 129, base 35, cross completion start. Jetstar 129er, score phone Charlie, pushback approved. Squawking Charlie, pushback approved, Jetstar 129. And Osprey 722, Qantas, Osprey 722, enter Qantas 412 in turn at the holding point, contact the tower 133.1.
Contact tower 133.1, holding point, Osprey 722.
Darwin ground, good evening, Jetstar 923, stand 2 with the Palga 7 departure, squawking 6020, request to push and start.
And last station calling, sorry, just confirm the call sign, was it Jetstar 923 or 456?
Just on 923.
Jetstar 923, thanks, push approved.
Push approved, Jetstar 923, thanks. Ah, yes.
Locking gear.
Lovely. Let's get rid of the music. I've got the safety demonstration for Jetstar for today as well. Beacon lights are on. Let's check this overhead quick. Looking good. So we are all prepped for engine start. We'll pop that in auto for now.
Release parking brakes.
Ignition mode starts. Bar brakes off.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Kevin, let's hope so. That sounds quite nice. I have wound the time back a little bit for today.
Jetstar 498.
By 2 hours,
ground,
just to try and get an earlier time into Cairns, so that when we do arrive we can actually see the scenery. Default airport, default GSX as well, so I've got no idea what it's going to do for pushback. Probably something entirely random and unexpected, but hey ho.
But 123 clear the destination via Palga 7 departure on the 29 squawk
Please set
4427.
parking brake.
Brilliant.
Seabird 123, thanks. And just confirm your bay or stand number.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Thanks, GSX.
23 for Speedbird 123.
My
Seabird
God.
123.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Yeah, MPS Gaming, so the one that I've got is the Parallel 4.2 Flow Pro, which gives you a number of other options, like the fact that you can install and use widgets. Kalite's representing. Love it.
Jetstar 129, base taxi.
Jetstar 129, thanks. You can taxi via, taxi Bravo 2, hold short of runway 29.
Let's get me charts.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass in removed.
Flap 2 for takeoff, so we've got a set flap 2.
Velocity 2472 is ready for push and start. Velocity 2472, just hold position momentarily, thanks. Holding short, velocity 2472.
And just on 923, request taxi.
Jetstar 923, just confirm, is your nose to the east?
Ideally yes, but GSX thought otherwise.
That's alright, I just need to know so I can taxi you, but you can taxi Echo 2, hold short of runway 29, thanks.
Taxi Echo 2, hold short 29, just on 923. Oh, GSX, you can go away now.
And velocity 2472, thanks. Traffic is a Jetstar A320 that's just taxied past behind you. Push approved. Push approved and traffic has already passed, so velocity 2472.
So, bar brakes are off.
Darwin ground, Osprey 784.
Engines 1 2 look good. Let's go ignition mode norm.
Osprey 784, push approved. Actually, Osprey 784, disregard, sorry, correction. Hold position, Osprey 784.
I'll wait for the Jetstar to pass.
Osprey 784, thanks. Yeah, that Jetstar A320 will pass behind you, and then
Spoilers arms.
give way to that traffic, push approved.
Auto brake max, flaps 2 and green, so
Darwin ground, Osprey.
let's set that. Initialise weights. My God, did I forget that again? I did.
Osprey 532, push approved. Push approved, Osprey 532.
Every time in the Fenix.
Speedbird 123 ready for push and start.
Speedbird 123, hold position.
57.7.
Holding position, Speedbird 123.
/ 0 fuel weight center of gravity 30.3. Safety demo. Easy. So yeah, it has to be in VL mode, which will then capture the localizer.
While we take you through the safety requirements for our Airbus A320.
There goes Gav, I think, that was departing first. Lovely takeoff. By the way, those of you who are waiting for the 737-900 Osprey Holidays livery, it's now available on flightsim.to. So thanks to Demo Designs for creating that. He does really good custom designs via his Fiverr site.
Cross runway 29er, taxi via Bravo 1, left on the Alphas to the Alpha 6 holding point, runway 29er.
Cross runway 29er, Bravo 1, to hold point Alpha 6, runway 29er, Alpha 6,
It's interestingly here, what I've noticed is in the UK, to cross the runway we'd be handed over to tower. What's really cool here is the fact that we're not doing it.
Seabird 123, you can if you'd like, otherwise it'll be maybe a couple of minutes and then you can push back once that other aircraft's clear.
Brad, yeah, the lookout tool, but with a custom audio pack.
Yeah, Seabird 123, no worries.
There we are. Just had to reset GSX because that was stuck. CT90, unfortunately no. I did actually submit the idea to Asobo to have a livery, an Osprey Airways livery pack inside the marketplace for those of you on Xbox, but because I wanted to do it...
There'll just be a short delay for a departing aircraft.
Yeah, roger, no problem, just on Island 23. Because it was going to be a free livery pack, and therefore Asobo wouldn't make money on it, they don't want to do it, which is infuriating. Where's the old point? There's a whole point there.
A firm, push approved, nose to the east, nose facing east.
There's a Jetstar, they crossed at Bravo 2.
Only inflate your life jacket as you leave the aircraft, by pulling down on the red tags. You can top up your life jacket by blowing into these mouthpieces. The life jacket also has a whistle and a light to attract attention. There are emergency escape and flotation devices.
Wonderful takeoff, that was excellent.
This is Qantas 456, we are Polga 7 departure, smoking 47.
Yeah, I have tried CT90 though, I promise you that.
Qantas 456, hold position, brake, Jetstar 923, cross runway 29er, taxi via Echo 1, left on the Alphas to the Alpha 6 holding point, runway 29er.
Cross runway 29er, then Echo 1 onto the Alphas, hold point 29er for Jetstar 923.
And Jetstar 129, you can contact the tower at the holding point 133, decimal 1, see ya.
133, decimal 1, see ya, thanks mate.
It's not actually a terrible default profile, to be honest, for this. So we'll get clear here.
Velocity 2472. You can taxi and just hold behind
the
737 in front of you.
Load up, yes. There's also another one coming soon.
FM taxi and way behind the 737. Velocity 2472.
Who's enjoying the new SimBrief look, by the way, folks? It looks fantastic, right? Left by the Alphas, then we're going to be on to Tower 1331 very shortly for a handoff. Dimitri says it's a freeware add-on called the Luke Air tool, and you can then download various cabin announcements.
923 at the holding point, you can contact the tower 133.1, we'll see ya.
At the hold point, contact tower 133.1 for Jetstar 923. Thanks, good night.
Good night.
Darwin Grand Osprey 532 is ready for taxi.
Osprey 532, thanks. You can taxi Bravo 2, hold short at runway 29er.
Taxi Bravo 2, hold short at runway 29er, Osprey 532.
Many a coughing fit today so
And
far.
Velocity 2472, follow the 737 in front of you, can taxi Bravo 2, hold short 29er.
Follow the...
So flaps 2 and set green. Takeoff ECAM memos are green, there's no blue on that. Blue's bad.
Tower, Qantas 2517, 10 mile final.
Qantas 2517, Darwin Tower, hello, continue.
And now we're on tower.
Continue approach, Qantas 25.
And then after that, we're going to be on departure 3, gives you 134.1. Hey, it's one of those sim things, Dimitri, isn't it? It just makes it a little bit more enjoyable, having those cabin announcements and things.
Just 129, contact departure.
With the departure, just someone done, just like...
So here,
12 or 2517, runway 29er, clear to land.
so here, do you automatically change to the departure frequency, or do you wait for that handoff there? Darwin Tower, good evening, Jetstar 923, whole point 29, ready for departure.
Jetstar 923, Darwin Tower, hello. Continue holding short, runway 29er.
We're going to hold short 29er, Jetstar 923. We've got one to come in before. Flap 2 takeoff today, so as always, we're going to take off like Skiathos, for those of you who watched those tutorials in the past. We'll take off and then we'll go through each flap setting in turn. We won't just dump flaps to 0. And the aeroplane, being an Airbus and being ever intelligent, will sort out the speeds for us. Unlike the Boeing, which would probably have a bit of poo come out of its APU exhaust. Wait for handoff, Brad. Thanks, buddy. Matthew, welcome. We're watching from Melbourne, Australia. Nice to see you flying an airline to see a lot of. Great to hear. It's interesting because what I do at work is quite specialist, and we're all being asked whether or not we want to be poached and end up living in Perth, which is a bit crazy. Mark, sorry, I did see you put a message earlier, didn't you, saying that you're going to do your first wings event today. In the route for the event, there's no SID or star. Do I not enter one in the MCTU? Just expect vectors on departure arrival. No, so have a look at the ATIS with the runway in use. You should be given a SID or a star, but if not, let us know in the live chat today, and maybe Doc or someone who's got a lot of good knowledge about flight planning and a bit of time maybe to help, we can actually formulate your whole route for you, if that's something that might be useful. This looks like a retro Qantas. What time's the first wings event, Mark?
Jetstar 923, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, Jetstar 923. Oh, it's a long float. There's 4 aircraft waiting to cross. Bar brakes off. Let's get the power on. Strobes.
Qantas 1917. Welcome to Darwin. If you can, make a right on Victor 2. If that's too narrow, preferably you can make a left on to Bravo 1.
We'll give Victor 2 a go, Qantas 2517.
Roger.
15, Mark. Awesome. What's the route then, Mark? Pop it in the live chat and we'll see if we can work something out for you. Help you prep. That was our first screenshot of the day, by the way. just then. Line up and wait. Okay, so look at the Palermo departures. There might be a VOR based departure or one that says PAL 1 Victor, PAL 3 Victor mark maybe. Same with Athens. There might be an arrival that begins at Nemes, so that it would therefore be a Nemes arrival at some point with some names and numbers next to Nemes. Here we go.
2517
On a 25,
We're going to get a couple of them crossed.
121.8 feet.
1218, thanks for the help. Qantas 2517.
I can see there's an Osprey crossing. There's the Osprey 737-600 crossing as well. At that point, they'll probably pause. They'll get those two aircraft there, the Virgin Australia and the British Airways aircraft, at the whole point ready to go. Although he's got some speed, that Virgin Australia, so I reckon they're getting us all across. That's epic, look at that. And we're literally just holding it on the brakes. Fozzie, hello buddy. We're on Frequent Flyer for 12 months now. Thank you for a year of support. Fantastic. Adam, you've got to have a bit of knowledge. So effectively a First Wings event is you culminating all your knowledge of VATSIM as a new pilot for an event with controllers that are basically there to try and help you consolidate what you ideally would already know. And it's there to get you into VATSIM. You've got to know how to file your flight plans, you've got to know how to fly your aeroplane as well. That's probably 70% of the work anyway on VATSIM. And you've got to know basic telephony too. All across. Oh yeah, look, there's 4. That's epic. There's a Qantas there. It looks like he's keeping the speed as well, so he might be crossing too.
Jetstar 923, runway 29er, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 29er, Jetstar 923.
Darwin Tower, good evening. Qantas 913, establish runway 29er, visual approach.
Qantas 913, Darwin Tower, hello. Continue approach
Flex,
for runway 29.
SRS, runway.
Continue approach
Stick
to
forward.
Qantas 913.
Get that control visualizer up for you guys so you can see the control inputs on the left. Through 80 knots, we're going to basically slowly bring that nose wheel pressure to 0 and centralize the stick, accelerating through 100. Here we go. V1. Rotate. V2, positive rate, gear up. And we're following the flight director for a moment.
Tower, good evening, Osprey 784.
The beauty of fly-by-wire is we kind of set it and the aeroplane does it.
Runway 29.
In the Boeing, we would be like forwards back
84,
on the stick
Darwin
loads.
Tower, hello. Continue holding runway 29er.
Autopilot on. The control visualizer is almost kind of pointless with the Airbus because there's very little control input. It's just that initial rotation. Leave a climb.
Jetstar 923, contact departure.
Got it, departure, Jetstar 923, thanks, good night.
See ya. Qantas 913.
Cross state, Qantas 1014.
Flaps 1.
And Qantas 1014, cleared visual approach runway 29er. Cleared visual approach runway 29er, Qantas 1014.
Qantas 1771, turn left heading 280.
Transcend, no worries, buddy.
Qantas 70,
Okay, let's go to flaps 0. Darwin approach, good evening, Jetstar 923's Paragus 7 departure and 2,600 feet.
Jetstar 923, Darwin approach, good evening. You're identified. Climb by SID, flight level 180, cancel speed below 10,000.
Climb by SID, flight level 180, cancel speed below 10,000, Jetstar 923.
Qantas 1014, reduce to minimum approach speed, contact tower 120 decimal, sorry, to East to Sydney. Reduce to minimum approach speed and contact tower 133 decimal 1.
So, what he's done there is basically told us that we can accelerate beyond 250 knots. Flaps are in, let's disarm the spoilers.
71, descend 3,000 reported.
Problem is, if we do that, it will wipe out our climb speeds.
Jetstar 32 Foxtrot, descend by star 6,000.
This livery is the one that's created by Dave Cherry, I think, on flightsim.co. He makes some incredibly nice decal liveries. And we'll fly the flight on live weather all the way through as well.
Qantas 401, Darwin approach, good evening. Maintain 10,000, runway 29, expect visual approach.
Maintain 10,000, runway 29.
I reckon, yeah, as Mark is saying to you, Adam, there, I reckon go for it. Just see, certainly, if we can confirm the route for you and get your route all planned and stuff in the live chat before the event today, then throw yourself into it. Give it a go.
Jetstar 32 Foxtrot, descend by star 4,000. By star 4,000, 32 Foxtrot.
Get them lights off.
Qantas 401, descend by
and
star
signs.
8,000. By star 8,000.
So yeah, we're looking at about 2 and a bit hours today. The beauty of the First Wings event as well, Adam, don't forget, is there are potentially going to be quite a few pilots flying there. Will all be flying their first flight.
Qantas 1771, resume profile speed.
Qantas 1710, we're at 3 knots.
Qantas 1771, resume profile speed.
Copy that.
So, Navigraph. We departed 29, heading westerly. Over the coast, 286 degrees to Nassaux, where we've climbed above 4,000 feet. Then we're heading northbound. We're probably now at Lemux, where we have to be at or below flight level 120. But beyond that now, the next one's going to be BATSIM, flight level 180, at or above 24 miles from now. So we've got to maintain a decent rate of climb still throughout for that. And then from that, we're off to Snick and then Palga.
Qantas 1771, you cleared the visual approach runway 29.
Copy that, Qantas 1771.
Qantas 1771, you're required to read back.
I mean, the great thing is, Adam, once you get into VATSIM, once you do maybe a couple of First Wings events, and you get comfortable with flying on the network
1771, thanks. Contact tower 133.
more regularly, you will struggle to fly any other way in the sim, to be totally honest with you guys. You won't get any other immersive experience or on anything else, multiplayer or any other network or anything. VATSIM is king, basically.
Jetstar 923, contact Brisbane Centre 133 decimal 2 south.
Contact Brisbane Centre 133 decimal 2 for Jetstar 923, thanks, good night.
No. Climb 401, descend by star 6000, speed 210 knots.
One 332. Brisbane Centre, good evening. Jetstar 923 is flight level 147 for 180 inbound VATSIM.
Jetstar 923, Brisbane Centre, g'day, climb flight level 370.
Flight level 370 for Jetstar 923, g'day.
All stations, Brisbane Centre, will be back in about 1 minute.
Yes, your C-top time is basically your takeoff time, Adam. So you need to be ready to go and push back about 15 minutes, Adam, before your takeoff time. And then they might give you a ground delay if it's busy. It all depends on what's happening with the controllers, really. But oh no, I haven't upgraded the sim yet, Jacob. I've got a list of things that I want to do, but yeah, can't afford it at the moment. I priced up a new rig to get things like my CPU, my GPU, and the SSD and things upgraded. I quite very quickly realised I basically need a new computer because I need a new case, water coolers, that sort of thing, if I was going to go any more than what I've got now. And unfortunately, it means that I've got to spend £3,000 to £3,500, which is crazy. I think this is the first time flying around Darwin and Cairns.
Qantas 71 Alpha, when ready, descend flight level 180.
When ready, down to 180, Qantas 71 Alpha.
Qantas 460, star clearance available.
Those of you doing the First Wings event, is it a flight into Athens later, departing Palermo?
29, when ready, descend flight level 130.
Could you say the star again, please, Qantas 460?
Oh, Athens is great, Adam. It's really nice. If you've got the Fly Tampa scenery as well, it's just epic. And you have a nice long final approach as well. You'll probably be given the ILS or the RNAV approach into Athens. Most likely the ILS for the First Wings event.
Jetstar 302, Brisbane Centre, g'day, clear direct alley.
Clear direct alley for Jetstar 302.
Let's get those first two screenshots put onto Volanta. (1252) for the next Brisbane Centre. Have a little look on Volanta as well, actually, for the first time today. So that's our departure now. We are inbound Palga on the Palga 7 out of Darwin. So
71 Alpha, descend 1.
we're still kind of within their zone, if you like, but we're on Brisbane Centre due to our altitude and things as well. We're climbing right up to cruise now, flight level 370. A little bit of weather dotted around, and we're going to fly across the Gulf of Carpentaria. And we're basically joining a nice, a steady trickle of flights going in towards Cairns. We've got a fair few ahead of us. There's about 4 ahead of us, and then a bit of a gap, and then a chain of aircraft flying in as well that are over the Gulf at the moment, in towards Cairns. And we're expected to fly in via Cody and Gunrow, straight in via Gunrow for the Lock approach, Lock Zulu approach, I think it is, that we're going to be using today. What, runway 15 was it? I think it's runway 15 that they're using. If we go to VATSIM ATIS, we can actually punch it in here using the flow widget, so YBCS. There we go. Information Delta. Expect instrument approach runway 15, wind 140 degrees at 10 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, cloud few 2000, scattered 3027 degrees Celsius with the QNH 1010. Chinook in Auckland, New Zealand, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us today, I hope you're well. I mean, for me, I would probably fly into Athens if it was a choice between one way or the other for the First Wings event. I'd probably do Palermo into Athens. Tomorrow, we're going to be checking out the brand new Orbex Oslo Gardermoen Airport scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator. We'll be having a look to see what it's like in comparison to Hergé's fantastic freeware rendition of the same airport as well. So we'll be having a look at that, comparing the two. We were supposed to do a flight to Almeria as well, but TDM Scenery Designs, whilst they've updated it to version 1.0.1 to allow for a GSX profile to be created, having basically asked them myself to sort out a number of stand linking issues on their scenery. They've then had it taken off the stores.
Brisbane Center, good evening. Osprey
Sim Market
784,
and Anybuilds have removed it from their stores, which is crazy. Apparently due to legal reasons. And around about March, April, May, June sort of time 2022, TDM Scenery Design had a similar issue with pilots Alicante and their Rosario de Castro airport scenery. Can't remember exactly the one. There was a battle between assets created by one developer, an argument between the two. It's resulted in legal issues because they're both saying that they've been using each other's assets. Sounds messy. Alan, good evening as well. Up ahead, great to fly with you, mate. 2 AM in the morning in Australia is a bit early to join you guys in Europe. Yeah, no, I completely understand that, to be honest. Which is why I was trying to do these earlier streams. And in fact, if you guys enjoy it, I would try and do some more over the weekends that I'm off, for example. So I think now coming forwards in time, just going to look at my roster going ahead into March. I work weird shifts basically, but it means that I will be working no weekends for like 6 weeks, and then I'll work a few weeks. I'll be working weekends for about 6 weeks, and then I'm off for without on rest days, falling on weekends, if that makes sense, for about 4 weeks. Oh right, yeah.
BG360 identified, cleared to Nadi via Larab, flight plan route.
So I'm supposed to be working, but I'm on annual leave, but I'm actually sick with COVID as well, which is not great. So the next time I could do anything like this would potentially be the 11th of March, before I go back to work for the week. All dependent though on whether they cancel that day off. That's highly likely they will, actually, to be fair, because it's a 5-day off period. And they seem to enjoy cancelling rest days at the moment. But then 18th, 19th, I've got rest days for those weekends, so we could do the same thing on Saturday the 18th as well. So who knows? Rab says I sound rough. I feel rough. 2 days ago, no, Wednesday, they cancelled my rest day on Wednesday for work, but it's time and a half overtime as compensation for losing the rest day, so it's worth a fair bit of money. By the time I got home after a 16-hour shift, I'd gone from turning up and feeling about 80% to feeling about 50% okay. Yeah, I felt absolutely wrecked. MG King says he's going to take part in the first Wings event. Does the slot time mean the departure time, so I have to get my clearance early enough? Yes. So your slot time is your takeoff time, basically. Kevin, earlier streams for all your fans in Australia and New Zealand. 7 PM here. Was great to see a live stream starting. It's good to hear, guys. It's yeah. There is quite a lot of there's quite a lot of you guys that side of the world, Australia and New Zealand. So the least I can do is show my support and thanks to you guys as well by doing these earlier streams. Doc as well, who creates all our routes, creates, tells us what noise abatement procedures are in place for the particular routes, gets the real call signs in use and everything else too. Yeah, Mark, had it for about 4 days now.
Good evening, Osprey 532 is direct back
R2B2, so
flight level 180.
Richard, what time is it in New Zealand at the moment then?
532, climb flight level 390.
I always struggle working out the time difference between Australia and New Zealand. But I suppose the time zone in Perth is different to the time zone in Sydney and Brisbane as well. Gav, no worries. Adam, go for it. Go Osprey. You can certainly go Osprey. It's a real virtual airline in VATSIM now. Yoelf, so we're not allowed a union. We're not allowed to strike either. It's illegal for us to strike. But we have a federation who don't do very much to help, to be honest. Chinook works Air New Zealand. And he's on night shift. Nice stuff. How's it gone with the recovery from the floods around New Zealand over the last few weeks? Crikey, so Perth has got a 4-hour time zone difference between Brisbane and Sydney, that side of Australia. Brad's currently on Koh Samui, 3 hours behind home Queensland. Yeah, it's a huge place, isn't it? I guess you don't really, with the way maps are charted, you don't really appreciate the size and scale of a country like Australia, the sheer size of it, because I'm trying to think of the name of the way that charts are. Mercator charts or something like that. Basically, I mean, I might as well show it on Navigraph, to be honest. If we go to VFR charts, the way charts are plotted, certain charts anyway, they obscure. No, this one actually isn't. This is flat, which is interesting. So Greenland is genuinely huge. Although it makes America look tiny. There's Toronto. So actually, we draw a line from here from there down a little bit and then up, and then we go down and across. That is the United States of America. We then compare that to Australia. And we're doing this little Citypair route here, but it's a 2.5 hour block time between the two. There's Perth. I think somebody's at my door, bear with me.
Jetstar 302, star clearance available.
Brisbane Centre, Jetstar 302, go ahead with star.
Jetstar 302, cleared VEG
Right.
27 Alpha arrival. Runway
Imagine if
29.
people actually used
When
the
ready,
ring
descend
camera
flight
that was
level
on the
130.
door. Be amazing, wouldn't it?
Okie dokie, so cleared the VEG 27 Alpha arrival, runway
100%
29, when ready,
Mercantis
descend
projection.
level
That's
130,
that's it.
Jetstar 302.
Mercantis. Yeah, I always pronounced that wrong. So basically, I'm going to try and find a projection for it.
Contact Brisbane Centre 125.2, Osprey 722. Thanks for the FA.
Let's pre-tune that actually as well, because that's our next frequency. 125.2. So we're ready for the handoff. Mercator projection. Oh yeah, so actually the Navigraph chart was Mercator projection, I think. Because Greenland is huge when actually in fact it's very small, but because it's near the pole, the way the map is actually generated, I can't really show you in all its glory here. So you know what? Let's change tack.
On a 412, contact Brisbane Centre 125.
Let's actually find that map.
Contact Brisbane Centre 125.2, Commodus 412.
Jetstar 129, contact Brisbane Centre 125.2, today.
125.2, thank you very much. Good day, Jetstar 129.
There we are. So that's a Mercator projection map, like the one that's on Navigraph. So it makes Greenland look absolutely massive in size. Then you can see Northern America here and Australia down the bottom.
Good day, velocity 2472 with you at flight level 180.
But it's skewed, so near the poles it kind of stretches everything out a little bit.
Climb flight level 360, velocity 2472.
But if we look at
velocity 2472,
globe projection,
flight level
no.
350. 350, velocity 2472.
Kevin says phenomenal website for actual size. Let's see. Doesn't even come up. I assume it's going to be thetruesize.com. Here we go. So how it works: search, drag, and compare the size. Oh my god, adverts everywhere. So the true size of Australia is comparable to, hold on, I don't really know how this works. Oh, so we drag it to like the United States. There you go. So that's Australia. paired against the United States of America. Oh, hello. Oh, Kia. They're great cars. Not biased at all. Oh my goodness. What about the UK? Let's drag it to the UK. So many pop-ups. In fact, the UK is so tiny in comparison that we can't. So if we cover, we can actually cover most of Europe with the size of Australia. Bloody huge. Most of Northern Africa, to be fair. Look, Morocco across to Mauritania, Mali, half of Nigeria, Chad, and Libya. And then I guess we can compare that against the super-sized China. It's actually most of China as well. That's mega. Adam, no, it could be Osprey 124 as well.
Climb speed. Climbing at decimal 59, Mach decimal 596. Velocity 2472. What's your current indicated then into your planned Mach climb speed? Indicated climb speed at the moment is 265 knots.
I loved studying geography, Dosity.
2472 to facilitate some sequencing from the following traffic. Can you maintain 290 knots or greater in the climb? Maintain 290 for velocity 2472.
SG says, does that mean Tasmania is bigger than other places? I think so. United Kingdom basically fits into the side of Victoria down here in Australia. In fact, maybe we could do that as a reverse, couldn't we?
Qantas 426 Brisbane Centre, g'day, climb flight level 230.
Let's do that. Let me just sort out how this works.
Climb flight level 230, we're currently doing 334 knots, Qantas 456.
Qantas 456.
United Kingdom.
2472 for separation, turn left heading 080. Turn left heading 080 for velocity 2472.
There we are. So that's the map of the UK. There's a tiny little green, or teal. Let's call it teal. So if we drag that in comparison, it's probably a better way to do a comparison. We drag that across to. Start with New Zealand. It's about the, so the UK is about the size of New Zealand. If you rotate it the other way. But the UK fits very neatly into New South Wales. Look at that. Yeah, pretty much Victoria. We bring it across to Perth to give you guys a bit more of an idea of the size.
Speedbird 123, Speedbird 123, Brisbane Centre.
That's mad.
Brisbane, g'day, Jetstar 390 out of 169
anyway,
for
let's get rid of those free adverts.
Jetstar 390, Brisbane Centre, g'day, maintain flight level 170.
170, Jetstar 390.
Jetstar 390, there's just some traffic ahead of you. It looks like their sim may have paused or crashed. You can expect further climb shortly.
No problems, Jetstar 390.
Yeah, next week, Rab saying the New Zealand update is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. A lot of very small airports coming though, but I'm
390, continue climb
I'm hoping it will mean that we get
250, Jetstar 390.
finally that New Zealand NZA simulation. Christchurch, that'd be quite cool.
Qantas 456, climb flight level 350.
Climb flight level 250, Qantas 456.
Kevin saying the difference is we can't live in about 80% of the country.
Centre, Jetstar 302, leaving level 380.
Jetstar 302, Brisbane Centre, descend 10,000, Darwin QNH 1005.
Descend 10,000.
Still waiting for our handoff.
5, just after 30.
Which will be in about a minute or two.
Speedbird 123, Brisbane Centre.
Kevin, absolutely. Queenstown approach through the valleys is already amazing. Add in more detail, yeah, because they're upgrading the mesh, aren't they? From what I understand.
Jetstar 390, climb flight level 330.
330, Jetstar 390.
It's going to be fantastic. I'm hoping they revisit the Australia World update as well, to be fair. Improve photogrammetry around the cities a little bit more. Mark, nice, doing a little practice sector as well. I'm sure you're going to be absolutely fine. I'm hoping the New Zealand World update doesn't actually break the scenery that we've already got. The flight beam Auckland, the Wellington scenery, Innibills, Queenstown. I'm hoping it doesn't create issues with those.
2472, turn right heading 100.
Turn right heading 100, velocity 2472.
Oh, Kevin Epic, you're one of the controllers today. How have you found the event so far? Out of curiosity. Yeah, that's a query, isn't it, Richard? It's whether or not Orbex are going to do anything to improve their NZ mesh or something for those customers that, you know, at least from what we've read so far, it sounds like the New Zealand mesh from Orbex is going to be rendered pointless.
Velocity 2472, resume profile
when the New Zealand World update finally comes.
Resume profile speed, velocity 2472.
Jetstar 923, contact Brisbane Centre 125.2, g'day.
Got that, Brisbane Centre 125.2 for Jetstar 923, thanks, g'day. Yeah, flight being very reliable, fantastic development team. As MG King is saying there, pretty sure they'll fix it if it's not compatible pretty quickly. Yeah, Mir, I think, from flight beam, very, very good. 1332. We're now on 1252 for Brisbane Centre. Brisbane Centre, good evening, Jetstar 923s, flight level 370, inbound Dumouth.
Jetstar 923, good day, Brisbane.
Oh, fair enough, Kevin. Lachlan, hello to you. That Qantas that was landing. As we were about to take off was him. My speeds were going crazy. It looked pretty good, to be honest. It was a long flare though, but it looked well handled and nicely recovered. How have you found the event? Adam, damn straight. Great bunch. To be fair, when I logged in initially, so I was on the ground and I logged into the network an hour before the stream started, and I could see the chain of aircraft coming back towards Darwin. It looked fantastic, and there was a similar number of aeroplanes going the other way towards Cairns, which is the route or the sector that we're flying today. I forgot the First Wings event was today, to be honest. There's been quite a few. It's nice to see they're running more frequently now than they did in the past, which is good. Alan's saying, Luke, would you set QNH off Navigraph? What I would probably do, if you've got something like Flow Widget, you're flying into Cairns as well, aren't you? No, it's CS, isn't it? Whoops. So I would look at the VATSIM ATIS and I'd get the QNH there, which is 1010. That's what the controllers are working off. And ideally, if we're on live weather as well, then we should be the same. But Navigraph should be the same. It sounds like Navigraph is a bit more up to date than Volanta, to be honest. So yeah, I'd go with that, Alan. But then that is 0819Z. That ATIS. That's quite out of date. It's 2 hours old. I thought they would have updated it. Lognan's doing a flight all around Australia at the moment. Qantas Freight started in Launstown. Is it Launstown? I watched a video. We flew into there once. I had to watch a video of how to pronounce it, because Launceston is how I would pronounce it, but then there were different towns elsewhere that actually were pronounced entirely different to how they were spelled. Yeah, I'd go with the Navigraph one then, Alan. That sounds like it's bang on. Launceston. There we go.
Brisbane radar velocity 458.
Velocity 458.
We're just about 30 nautical miles from top of descent, so could you please copy our start clearance for arrival?
Yeah, start clearance is a Cody 7 Alpha, runway 15, maintain 3.
So what this means, Gav, and Ian as well, based on the conversation we had earlier, is I can't move to Australia because I can't pronounce any of the towns.
Velocity 458, contact Brisbane 120.15 today.
12015, velocity 458, thanks for your help.
Kevin, that's good to know.
Jetstar 916, roger. He's about to cross into the other controller's airspace. Let me check with him.
And this is a huge amount of flights still departing out of Darwin. It's fantastic. How many behind me? So there's 3 ahead of me. And then behind we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're scratchy but readable.
6. 6 aircraft still behind as well. That's mega. The next frequency is going to be Brisbane Centre 12015.
Jetstar 916, that's fine.
Oh, Transair, that sounds fun. We have got TCAS on though, so thankfully we're pretty clear. For now, anyway.
Julia Charlie Romeo, identification service terminate, frequency change approved.
It's almost like Canada then, Dusty, where every word ends with eh. Yeah, Ian, that's confusing. In Perth, there's a suburb called Cockburn, but it's pronounced Coburn. It's a real eye-opener. Also have a suburb called Innaloo, and it's said exactly. I said, look, where do you live, Innaloo? Oh no. Oh, I can't live there then. Gingin. Fantastic. There's a town for me. But is it pronounced Gingin, or is it pronounced entirely differently? Oh dear. Mikhail, hello buddy. No worries at all, good morning to you. So how long have your aunt and uncle lived out there then, Dursey 2? Or have they always been there, or they decided to go expat and move? It's starting to trickle into the media now in the UK, but there is a task force, that's how they're branding it, a task force of people coming from Perth to try and recruit people into Western Australia. Various different roles, nurses, doctors,
I do, but I'm just waiting for him to pick up your tag, which he's just done
loads,
right now.
loads of different roles.
Contact 120.15.
They want apparently something like 23,000 vacancies filled by Brits that want to move down under. The problem is they offer support in the process, but they don't actually offer support in properly getting there, like financial, in the sense that, you know, they won't pay for the visa, even though you need one to go and do the job that they want you to do. That's 1,500, I think, Australian dollars. That's about £1,000. Moving costs, everything as well. You end up looking at 25
good evening. Osprey 532 is direct to man flight level 3990.
Osprey 532, g'day Brisbane. Jetstar 925, Brisbane.
925, who's that? Yolf. Got a bit of Scottish ancestry from South Carolina though, nice. See, I love a bit of heat. I think Ian said that in the winter Perth gets to a very chilly 12 degrees Celsius, which sounds quite nice. Okay, I think I have. I think we have flown into Gold Coast, maybe once. We've done a bit of East Coast stuff, and we've done Melbourne as well. Sydney, Brisbane, I think. I can't remember.
Center Papa, Oscar Papa, 6 miles north of Juliet Creek, requesting flight following.
Dusty says, my aunt and uncle have been out there, I think, for a good 15 years. They
03509 then.
Dusty absolutely loves it there, would love to move. Wonder if they would like a UK conductor. It's actually not a bad shout, so...
Papa, you're identified.
They want doctors, teachers, nurses, police officers, mechanics and dentists, as well as plumbers, builders, hospitality workers and miners. I mean, it sounds pretty great. Rab, you should have connected and given it a go today. You'd have been absolutely fine. It's quite a chill event, isn't it? And as we were saying in the lounge earlier on, trying to find a decent little wing view here. As we were saying in the lounge earlier on, such a vast area that we're flying along. Even though it looks busy, we've actually got quite good spacing.
Osprey 784, roger, report back.
How'd you find the flights, Dirty 2?
Osprey 784.
Do you go often in this? You're saying there you love going in the spring when all the wildflowers grow. Don't last long, but looks really nice. 15 years is a long time. The lad I grew up with moved to Brisbane, in the middle of secondary school actually. And they up sticks and moved, which is amazing. But he's been in Brisbane now for 31 now. So yeah, we're looking 15 years as well, and he hasn't looked back. Though I've lost contact with him now. It's the sort of thing you kind of expected. It 15 years later, they've built their own lives and moved on, but. Yeah, Ian, the super long 16-hour direct, isn't it? That's long, though. Really long, but makes it better. I do kind of want to visit. It's one of those things where the job adverts have come out here. They are trying to poach us, especially with some of the skills that me and my team have got. it would be quite interesting to sort of see, at least if I'd have visited, what it's like. But at the same time, I've always wanted to go to Australia anyway to visit, and New Zealand. There are two places in the world that I've never been, but really want to go and visit at some point. So maybe that direct Perth flight would be a good option. Long flight though, isn't it? In a tube. Lachlan, I haven't voted across the pond this year because I'm not taking part. So I've avoided voting so that it doesn't skew the results in place of what other people might want to fly on. If that makes sense. Yolf, you can't say stuff like that. Drop the controversial statements, please. Otherwise you'll be timed out. Rab saying 16 hours in a plane doesn't sound like fun to me. I think, you know, as much as I love flying as well, 16 hours is a bit of a push. At around the 12-hour mark or 11-hour mark, unless I'm in a business class cabin or somewhere nearer the front and I've got good service, big comfortable seat, possibly a lie flat bed, that sort of thing, then it gets to the point where you're happy, you're ready to get off the plane, aren't you, at that point? Sim, hello. This time round, no, I can't do cross the pond, I don't think. The dates mean I'm at work, unfortunately, so it doesn't really pop up a good time for me. But I'll be keeping my eye open for the eastbound. Yeah, there is that. And smash through a load of movies as well. To be fair, I could probably fill the time quite happily. I've done 12 hours to Mauritius, I've done 13 hours to Tokyo in the past, and they were fine. Although the Tokyo flights I was actually working on board, so though, you know, that went quickly. Lachlan's flown on a 13-hour flight, wanted to fly for longer. Wow, okay, fair enough. Bit of a long-haul addict. I wonder what the actual price of the flights are to Perth. Let's find out. I'll bring it up on a window capture as well. So, that should Jesus, Geographic, no. Anyway, British Airways website. Let's see what happens. Perth, Australia. Let's zip it across to, I don't know, November? Oh no, February. Let's look at January, because that's then, you know, you're looking at the furthest point in the future to kind of get a bit of a tell. Let's look at premium first. Got to take the misses. Oh. To be fair, I mean, that's with the Qatar Airways connection. Then you get next day, look, 1,555. That's per adult though. Oh my god, actually, that's per adult. 2 weeks. Maybe we'll do like 10 days or something instead. 2. To be fair, one way is not too bad. I couldn't do cattle class on that length of flight, to be fair. See, if I booked with these, I could use my Avios points. That would offset the costs, all that sort of stuff, or even get us an upgrade. Oh my god. That's not per person, right? $16-hour, 35-minute flight. Whoa. Oh my god, that was per person. Well, that's not affordable at all, is it? Jesus. Look at the price. I mean, that's just one way. We then add return. 1487. Add that to. That's £8,000 just for flights. Premium economy, direct to Perth, on the Qantas 10 and the Qantas 9. That is ridiculous. You then compare that to BA. You can go in premium economy via Qatar. But you can go business class for £4,000, for goodness sake. Do that one. Oh, I don't want to depart Gatwick. Insane. Get a new graphics card for that and the rest. Oh yeah, it's departure 1,000. So 500 quid more person just to go from Heathrow. So in that case, I would just go to Gatwick. And I'd pay for a cab because it's 40 quid, and then you'd fly back. Oh, look at that price difference as well. So this is the price difference. You go book direct with Qantas, £7,702 return for premium economy, direct Heathrow to Perth and back. Or oh my god, 6,000. So actually for £1,500 more, you could just go direct. Which actually doesn't make it look a bad deal, weirdly enough. How can people afford to that for flights?
Visitor Center, Osprey 784 back in cockpit.
We're actually on Unicom for a bit. Halfway across the Gulf of Carpentaria. We've got aircraft inbound towards us as well. Jetstar 920. Oh, it's one aeroplane. and then in a little while, probably about 20-30 minutes, THA 168. I'm not sure if they're on VATSIM or not. First flight is in economy, that's why Lachlan says. Ian, interesting. Qantas are a bunch of thieves at the moment. Have a look at Emirates, they're a bit on the nose over here right now. Lots of lost luggage and cancelled flights. That's mad, isn't it? Thing is, I've gone on quite a few Emirates flights at Heathrow. I just find their aeroplanes look archaic. They look archaic and old, don't they? The cabin is stuck in the early 2000s, that sort of thing. I mean, British Airways have got they operate the Singapore-Sydney route, don't they? But that doesn't help you then get to somewhere like Perth. Yeah, Kevin, that's not good. You know what's probably not a bad website to have a look at? This has got me really curious now, by the way. Skyscanner. Or Google Flights is pretty good as well. 737NG123, hello. No. Haven't had any. So we're going to pick a date that's green. Oh my god. Well, that's why it's so expensive then. But I guess that's probably because it's summer, isn't it? So in that sense, you would pick, I don't know, that. Actually, hold on. No. That's more reasonable, isn't it? 30th to the 18th. 2 adults. So we'll do that as a search again. So we get a comparable result. Ian says when we emigrated to Perth, we went via Heathrow, Bahrain, Singapore, and then to Perth in a 747-300 back in 1984. My god. Wait, so Ian, you made the move years ago. Well, there you go. That's not bad, is it? Cathay. Mind you, everybody hates those at the moment. British Airways and Cathay Pacific, so there'll be a stop via Hong Kong. $6,200 total still, so the prices aren't that different, are they? That's the thing. Just in general, they're roughly looking at $6,000. Although, no, that's 4. Total 5293. Not bad. Price difference wise, it's not bad. It's still a heck of a lot, you know, money. If we then flick that to just economy. Oh, David, loads. 10,000 kilos of fuel it was in the end. But that's because our diversion is Rockhampton. So Malaysia, not really going to fly those ever. God, look at the price difference with economy. £2,000 total. Qatar. No thanks. Keep your red box, Emirates. Yeah, so 1,000, so 2,368 total. Look, with a stop at Doha. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Cairns would be quite nice. Your Faz, well, his family's 300 years into the Americas. Nice one. I guess that's probably part of the pricing strategy, isn't it? As William is saying, Sydney would be the cheapest to fly to, it's the best connected. Perth is kind of, you're looking at a limited selection of services to that area. I mean, this is going to be controversial, but I think Emirates is kind of like the long-haul Ryanair. You go on board their A380s and they've got like 560 seats or something on board their A380. There's 100 more people on it than the BA A380. So they literally just cram you in like sardines because they just want money. And they never ban people that need banning either. They let them rebook and then be a problem on the next flight. And then they get kicked off that, and then they let them rebook and go on the next flight the next day. Just silly. Because they just want cash. Order 015. For next to be Brisbane Centre again. Just over the halfway point now, in fact. We've got no favourable tailwinds for us today though. 6 knots, 7 knot crosswind. We've got the radar as far as we can go, 320 nautical miles. The top descent marker is just tickling in there as well. Yeah, it does too, that's bad. I think for long flights, that's where the premium cabins kind of come into their own. You have that extra little bit of space and that extra little bit of comfort. Where were we? We were talking about maps. Let's just reset my navograph back to IFR high. So we're about halfway. That's our current bit of progress at the minute. Juliet 61 Airway, near to just after Andy. That's going to be our top descent into Cairns. We're expecting the Cody 7 Alpha on our arrival as well. So in via Conda, 076 degrees. That's weird. Not letting me pan it for some reason. now it is. Inverconda, then to Cody and Gunrow, and then from there we're expecting a straight in approach for the ILS Zulu or Lock Zulu runway 15. Dersey2, nice one buddy, thanks for the ongoing support, 12 months of membership, great to have you with us. From there 150 degrees, 1099 is the ILS frequency, the course of 150 degrees into Cairns. There's a VOR at Cairns 113.0, we'll tune that in as well, although the Fenix auto tunes it, and the NDB as well. We've got an NDB frequency 364. If it is the Zulu approach, so that ILS Zulu or Lock Zulu runway 15, we've got the missed approach data at the top. Turn left, track 015, intercept 15 DME arc from the Cairns VOR. 3,700 or as directed by ATC. ILS missed approach requires a left turn as soon as practicable, but not before the ICS middle marker. So ICS is the 3-letter code for the ILS, and the middle marker is there. So we're looking at that's 0.7 miles to touchdown basically. So do you reckon it's going to be 1228 all the way, Alan? Yeah, so in that set of options, Ian, it would be Qatar and Qantas that I'd probably only consider. Yeah, I've always been told, Dusty, too, just in general, if in doubt, pick the Zulu. Oh, so if it's Unicom all the way, Alan, then we'll stick with that approach that we've just talked about, but basically I'll call inbound halfway in the start, some point, I don't know, 20 miles to Cody or something like that, so that people around will hear that that's our location. Then we'll give the intentions as well, so we'll talk about how we're going to be inbound for the ILS Zulu runway 15 approach, that sort of thing, and then we'll report again at Gunrow, which is the transition into the approach. We'll call established and final at about 8 miles as well, to top it off, call a vacate. If it's all Unicom. A lot less ATC to worry about if it's Unicom. This is a mega cloud. Winds currently 160 degrees at 8 knots in drizzle. Scattered cloud 2,800, broken 3,300, overcast 3,900 feet, 26 degrees Celsius, dew point 23 degrees Celsius, QNH 1011. Oh yeah, they've just gone offline as well. Maybe we're falling into Unicom now. Alan, that's it, yeah, on the Unicom frequency 1228. Oh, Dirty 2, that's not good. What's their call sign? Adam, I think it's going to be as good as the CRJ, which is a great aircraft. Kind of hard to work it out though, isn't it? Based on the pictures they've given us, but it looks fantastic. As Paul's saying, hopefully we're going to get a few long-haul airliners in the sim this year. The 777 from PMTG, that's in progress as well. The Aerosoft A330, Unibuild's A300 600F as well. That's in progress. I think that's kind of it really for proper long haulers for the sort of early or the near future. Oh yeah. I would have thought they would have had relief controllers though. Yeah, Richard. I'd have thought they would have had another controller waiting to connect because it's still early, isn't it? Well, not early, but it's late in the evening in Australia at the moment. Flubberwhite A380, that's a good one as well. No idea how long that's going to take though. Matt's hello buddy, hoping for the A350 he says. Yeah, digital flight dynamics, have they even made any progress? I'm gonna have a quick look actually. Lachlan, no worries, have a good one. Well, no worries, buddy. Have a good one. Hope you're okay. Hopefully, we'll try and work something out to do another one. Yeah. To be fair, as Rich is saying, the event was meant to finish at 10:30. I wasn't sure if that was going to be like last departures at 10:30 or not. I might have to try and wind the time back as well to kind of fight the sunset. The question is, do we want to arrive at Cairns in the day, or in yeah, this kind of hour? Because we might have to just wind this back about 30 minutes again. Oh, hello, saying, basic question, how do you get assigned or choose your call sign? So Doc usually will look at the route that we're selecting, and he will then push, well, he will go through Flight Radar 24, years worth of data to find real world routes and their call signs, then it will calculate the routes as well from that. Usually then Doc will show me the selection of call signs. Very useful, it saves me having to do it, really appreciate it. Basically, give me the selection of call signs that are on the route and go from there, really. Tomorrow, for example, he's asked us to change to the West Atlantic Airways 737 cargo, but I wanted to fly Prime Air because I've wanted to fly Prime Air for a little while since that livery's been in the sim for a bit. So I said to him, we'll go off tangent a little bit and fly the Prime Air livery instead. Matt, so Sim for Flight, they've given up. They've apparently given all of their data, files, etc. to Digital Flight Dynamics, who are going to be creating a freeware A350, but I have no idea what progress has been made on that, or how long it's going to take to do it all. Birdman, yes, pretty much. They just stay in the flight deck. The company gives them all the data though, so the briefs and things for most airlines. I'm going to just flick across to their Discord now and have a little look. Digital Flight Dynamics. Yeah, the last progress update was the 6th of July 2022 with a completely pointless render, which doesn't show anything. Yeah, people get hyped up over renders, but it doesn't actually mean anything. I could create a render now for an A350 and be like, look at the progress. And I guarantee thousands of people would be like, whoa, he's creating an A350, but literally a render, Photoshop or whatever. Cairns approach online, awesome, 1184. Brett, hello, thank you very much. Thought it'd be a long time coming since we've done a flight in Australia, and I think the last one we did at early hours for you guys in Australia. Anyway, I think it's still 12 or 1300 Zulu, so instead we thought we'd set the time back to 9Z instead. It would have been maybe an hour earlier, 8 o'clock Zulu, but I'm rough with COVID, so getting up to start the stream at 9 was interesting enough anyway. And I've smashed back a tea and 2 coffees. That always helps. Too early for gin though, unfortunately. Kevin says sunset approach is gorgeous into Cairns. Does too as well, saying sunset and sunrise is favoured times to fly in the sim. And Will as well saying it's the best time. It always does look pretty good, doesn't it? 9:52 PM for Paul in Sydney at the moment. Yeah, it's quite late then, isn't it? Nice one, Brett. Earlier stream for you guys that side of the world. Mats, have a look at the 737-800 from PMDG then. You've got the BBJ2 which can do cross the pond. Got a great range on that actually, to be fair. Cindy Golf, almost 3 PM for you in Dubai, very nice. Baking hot as well, I'm sure. Oh yes, the 787-10 flight that we did from, I think, Washington Dulles, wasn't it, to Helsinki, across the pond. Was it a year ago? That's the longest flight we've done in the sim. That was great fun actually. You guys kept us energised for 8-9 hours. Will, so the ER I think can just, but it depends on the routing, so you won't be able to do the actual cross the pond then, if that makes sense, in the 900 ER I don't think. If you filled all of your tanks up, you could probably do Heathrow to Halifax in Canada, that sort of thing, or Shannon. You could do JFK to Shannon maybe. Ah yeah, the A310. There you go, Mats, do it in the A310. And it's free. Make sure you go to the MSFS marketplace, download the Inibuilds A310 enhancement pack for PC though, that's mandatory. How are we doing here? I reckon we can commit to Zulu 15. And the star, Cody 7 Alpha, I think. Yeah, Cody 7 Alpha. ILS or lock runway 15 approach via gun row. So, Cody 7 Alpha. It is via Conda, but I'm going to check on my Navigraph charts. Yeah, via Conda. And then approach vias, gun row. So, there we go. Brett, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Fergie certainly is. Much more reasonable time though for Gav and Ian, etc. I'd like to think PMDG will have released the 777 by the eastbound across the pond, which is September, October time. That would be a great target, wouldn't it? I mean, you know, 100 PMDG 777s in MSFS flying across the pond, that'd be great. Let's check the route now page. ICS 1099, 150, -3 slope. The minimums for this, the bottom of the charts. Now if it's a lock approach, therefore the glide slope would be out, the minimums are 790 feet. But we'll go with the ILS, we'll just see what it does. Minimum's 390, so we might as well put that in now. And then we'll have a look at the ATIS again. YBCS. H1011, there's nothing about transition altitude on there. Degrees. Okay, that's done. Looks like we're in for a Unicom arrival anyway. Adam, yes, of course you can. 364 for the ADF. Pop that in there. Not going to use it, but it's there just in case. So we're all pretty much prepped now. The only thing we can think about maybe is having a think of sim brief with arrival performance. We've actually done this well in advance of our arrival times anyway, or top descent, about 30 minutes from now roughly, maybe less than that slightly, but flight time of 2 hours 43, block time, air time of 2 hours 15. Estimated landing weight 62.3 tons. We'll pop that in. YBCS, runway 15, we'll go for good. We'll refresh the METAR and we'll apply it. There's mention of drizzle on the last METAR, so basically I've gone for good instead. So it's not dry and perfect, it can be slightly damp. Low order brake, flap full, auto thrust on, idle no reverse. Low order brake and it says 2,108 metres, happy days. If we then take the data from Navigraph, so I always, you guys watch it all the time, know that I have a look at not only the approach but the actual runway or the airport charts too, to get an idea of what to expect when we actually get on the ground. So landing on runway 15, Bravo 3, that's probably a bit ambitious. So we're likely to vacate at Bravo 4, which means then actually that idle reverse and low auto brake might be beneficial to us. We might just about get to the right speed at the right time to vacate at Bravo 4. Then we'll turn left on Bravo, head out to the domestic apron here, the domestic terminal for our arrival. Then it says for parking positions, see charts 10.9B, 10.9C, which I always look at as well, and I usually pin the one that is relevant to us, which will be this one. So I'll pin that, so when we do vacate, at the very bottom here, this little nav bar, I can flick between each chart as and when I need them. This one for parking. Yeah, very long runway in Cairns, 3,196 metres. Very useful. I suppose it's a very handy airport for diversions for flights that might be inbound to Brisbane or Sydney that might encounter issues if they're routing via Singapore, perhaps. I'm not sure. Adam looks good, buddy. Crazy winds. Still got 160 miles to top descent. Got a little way to go yet. Dusty saying deciding on suitable alternates was quite tricky considering just how far away they are. Yeah, we've gone for Rockhampton, which is still about an hour's flight south towards Brisbane, I think. Because of that, we've had to carry a whole lot of extra fuel. So even now, towards the end of the flight, we've still got 6.3 tonnes of fuel. Richard, no worries, buddy. Have a good one. Back into the cloud. Birdman, welcome. Yeah, Madeira was madness yesterday, wasn't it? Those approaches on that live stream were epic. Lots of diversions to Porto Santo and Tenerife and Lanzarote, where they then kind of refueled, waited for the winds to calm down and then headed back into Madeira for their final destination. Simport development team, they've actually released Porto Santo. Is it Porto Santo? MSFS, great little diversion airport for Madeira, those horrendous weather days. So I think that is probably going to be the case, to be honest. Kevin saying Jetstar are much bigger boys landing here at Cairns. Plenty of runway. Paul saying Cairns would be a great holiday location with a great barrier reef nearby. Hopefully as we descend through this we might get a break in the cloud, we might see the coast up ahead. We might get a little bit of that in the views in the distance perhaps. Got 180 miles to Conda. Soda, hello, saying can you do an ATC session? We discussed this the other day actually on one of our last live streams. I do want to get back into it and get it all installed, but software is so fiddly. I'm going to spend maybe an hour or so today trying to get other bits installed within it, but the setup's so difficult. If I get one thing wrong, it basically buggers the whole thing. So I'm going to try and get it all logged in again today, get it all connected. I'll do a bit of test connection. Once that's installed and up and running correctly, the actual planning of an ATC stream takes about a month to get controllers around me in support of the stream. So we get people working on delivery that help people with their flight plans. There'll be me sat on the ground at an airport we choose, and then we'll have somebody online as tower or approach, that sort of thing, to help with the traffic flow. We could turn it into an official Osprey Airways event, actually, and then advertise it via the VATSIM network. So there are things we could kind of do, but these things take a bit of time to plan, unfortunately. The complexity of controlling and streaming means that I struggle to do both at the same time, because I'm not the best with the controller stuff. Hey, look, there's the coast. But it's not the coast. I have no idea where we actually left the bay and ended up over. Oh, probably about 5-10 minutes ago. Sitrep for Valanta though, that's what we're facing at the minute. We've got a few ahead of us. Approach still online just about, tower still online just about. They probably might have gone off, well, it is fairly likely they'll probably have gone offline by the time we arrive. Hopefully not. Hopefully they stay on for us. We've got a few flying along in a big line still. Who knows? And then all this gnarly weather. Look at that. South of Cairns that we're just about avoiding. I mean, Brisbane Centre there is still online for Sunshine Coast, the Gold Coast. Who knows? Now off there we've got Fiji, Port Vila. It's not a bad place actually to do hops across to the islands of Fiji, across the Coral Sea.
You have an incoming direct message.
2 or 3 on the ground at Cairns as well. I think it's called Madeira Spotting Live. Oh, Brisbane Centre's back online. 12015.
Jetstar 129, Brisbane Centre, g'day.
Brisbane Centre, good evening. Jetstar 923, flight level 370 inbound Andy.
Jetstar 923, Brisbane Centre, g'day.
What is 412 with you at flight level 130, currently 4 nautical miles.
So a lot of these controllers have stayed on beyond the event actually finishing, which is very generous of them.
3532 is direct, is off flight level 390. Osprey 532 sitting today, and then it must have been Osprey 784.
Ah, lovely. The latest batch of COVID lateral flow tests have arrived by the looks of it.
Osprey 784 sitting today.
Brett's saying, are there good videos for Valanta? I've just downloaded and paid for Pro, but need to learn how to set up a flight in Valanta. So, what you want to do is set up your link your sim brief into Valanta, and go from there. Basically, it's fairly self-explanatory. Once you've clicked around a little bit and learnt the UI, it's quite nice to learn. I don't think there's many options or any tutorial videos for it though, to be honest. But as SJE is saying, Valanta gives you an option to import your flight plan from SimBrief. So I plan on SimBrief, and then in Valanta I click import flight plan from SimBrief, and it pulls it all in.
7 Alpha arrival 15, one way, flight level 140, but it's 129.
Brisbane Centre, Osprey 612, descending through 230, inbound.
Yeah, Rab, it's Madeira plane spotting or something like that.
Alpha, runway 15, descend. We'll make it flight level 130.
Cleared, colleague 7 Alpha arrival, runway 15, descend 130.
Chicky Dan, hello. What was the total cost of your PC? So I've had it for, well, since July 2020 now. It cost £2,000 at the time. I've upgraded the RAM since, so £2,500. So I've now got 64 gig of RAM.
Going to 300 knots.
But to be honest, the system is pushed to the absolute limits at the, as it is at the moment anyway.
Quite low on profile, start clearance available.
80 miles to top of descent.
Going by the FMC Qantas 412, can I just hit it 1300? Sorry, 13,000.
Qantas 412, A firm, maintain flight level 130, cleared Cody 7 Alpha, arrival runway 15, maintain flight level 130.
Maintain flight level 130, Cody 1A, arrival, runway 15, Qantas 412.
Mark, bloody ripper.
Hello, this is Qantas 456 for level 370.
Qantas 456, Brisbane City, g'day.
Crazy money, Paul, isn't it? That's the thing.
Brisbane City, g'day, velocity 2.72, inbound to Golf at flight level 390.
Velocity 2472, Brisbane City.
So as a little reminder, thanks to Fritz, who's fast asleep at the moment now, it's about 4 in the morning in the States. We've got this landing rate widget, which we downloaded. So instead of FS Hub, where we get the pop-ups, which means that we should, in theory, be able to disable the software tooltips and still, until Asobo fix what they broke in that last update. We should be able to get this landing rate pop-up widget here used instead, which will be interesting. So it's shown on and green at the moment and active. When we do touchdown, it should give us a touchdown somewhere. But from what I understand, this widget also gives us a little bit more information about the touchdown zone, where roughly on the runway we touch down at, and a few other things too. So when we land, we'll explore this a little bit to kind of understand how it works and what sort of data it offers us as well, so we can analyse our touchdown. So it should be quite interesting. It's going to be a little bit more informative than...
923 south, it's available.
Yeah, ready to copy, just on 923.
It's a 923 Honda 7 Alpha, arrival, runway 15, when ready, descent flight level 140.
Good, Honda 7 Alpha, arrival, it's runway 15, and when ready, descent flight level 140, just on 923. So it says descend when ready. We're not quite ready yet.
Sorry, was that velocity 954?
Yes.
Velocity 954, sending good day. Velocity 950, squawk 1310.
Just reminding us to put in our destination data. We've already done that though, so don't need to worry anymore about that. Our data as well, let's just check.
784, star clearance available.
Honda Cody, gun row, and final approach. That is it, wow. Just going to check the data.
784, Brisbane Centre. Any station, Brisbane Centre radio check.
Your readability 5.
Yeah, mate.
Osprey 784, Brisbane Centre. Osprey 532, star clearance available.
So we need to be at gun row 5000, it says.
Osprey 532. Osprey 532 cleared, Conda 7 Alpha, arrival runway 15. When ready, descend flight level 380. Cleared the Cody 7 Alpha, arrival runway 15.
That shifted the top of descent a little bit further towards us.
722, descend 7000, contact, correction, QNH1012, contact approach.
Oh, that's a point, Birdman, yeah, the VNAV in the Fenix. Been doing my nutting.
Over to approach 118.4, approach 022.
Bad. What, about 30 minutes? Lunchtime in Sweden for MPS, 12:15. Told you could have joined today, it's pretty chill. Alan, yeah, back online. Who was the Osprey they're trying to call up as well? If you're watching, tune in and
412, you ever increase your speed at all?
give them a little chat, you know, give them a little heads up, say you're on frequency.
412 AFM.
Yeah, what would you like me to go to? Qantas 412.
What are you able to go?
Where do we want me to go?
Well, I don't know. What's your max? Give me. See what you said. You're 300 at the moment. Can you pop 340?
I'll go 330, Qantas 412.
Works for me.
Right, back to just checking this data. So, final approach, gun row at 5, 4, 6.
Qantas 456, Brisbane Centre.
Cessna 2900. Yeah, I'll trust that that is all okay. What we shall do? Right, let's just do the Cairns. Sorry, Cairns VOR. We'll do a radius of 10 miles.
Velocity 2472, start clearance available.
We should create a little fixed ring there.
Velocity 2472.
Yeah, don't forget folks, do smash the like button while you're here.
Alpha, arrival runway 15, maintain flight level
We're manipulating the time to try and arrive with sunset. Also, the air conditioner had a good workout today, but the heat, Brett was saying, in Sydney was woeful.
784 Brisbane Centre.
Who's Osprey 7?
784, go ahead.
Ah, there we go.
Osprey 784, cleared Qatar 7 Alpha, arrival runway 15 when ready, descend flight level 130.
Clear, call
Jacob, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing.
When ready, descend 140.
Patrick, no, I get the same as well, to be honest.
130.
I think it's just the brains of it trying to kick in.
784.
Flight level 140, let's set that.
Qantas 456 Brisbane Centre.
So, before we get to top of descent, what we're going to want to do is actually activate this so we go into descent.
456, report your current Mach, please.
We could do it now, to be honest, 20 miles.
Mach 80, Qantas 456.
Qantas 456, are you able to increase decimal 83?
Unable, Qantas 456.
Qantas 456, what's your max?
Go auto brake low, based on our performance calculations for arrival. If you're tuning in now,
Velocity 2472.
we'll go through that again. That's this.
Reduce decimal 77.
Reduce decimal 77, velocity 2472.
There we are. So we're aiming to vacate 3/4 of the way down on the runway at Bravo 3, I think it was. NH1009 apparently, according to that. But full flat, idle, reverse, and low auto brake. So we're beginning with a very gentle descent to begin with. Mark, no, so when he gave us our clearance, he said descend when ready, flight level 140. So the controller's already cleared us and expects us to go to flight level 140 at and around top of descent. But if you haven't got that, then you'll need to request descent. So, you know, if we hadn't have got that message,
129, descend 7,000.
I would have probably, about 10 miles to top of descent, called up saying Jetstar 923 request descent, and then we've got 5 miles or so to play with to get the aeroplane into descent effectively then. Yeah, mad haze, isn't it? Might need to bring the time back a bit more again. There we are. Yeah, the EFB's nice. We don't really use it very much though, effectively, just literally the arrival performance. But if you use something...
129, contact Cairns approach 118.4, good night.
Something like VATS airplane toolbox, then a lot of aeroplanes you don't really need the EFB. 1184. If these guys have stayed online for us, that is really generous of them. Appreciate it if any of you are watching, if that is the case. All good to hear. I do enjoy the Fenix, but for me the PMDG 737 is a bit more refined. Quite a bit more involved as well as an aircraft, and therefore that's my favourite still. 737-800, particularly out of all the variants. We've now got a warning for more drag required. So there's the first error of the VNAV. It lost the ball. It allowed the profile to drop below, and all of a sudden now it's playing catch up at 4,400 feet per minute. And now it's kind of lost the ball. It's not really doing this very smoothly. And you know, we don't have this problem in the 737. The more drag warning is now gone, that's fine, because the aeroplane's just settled itself out.
We're rating 10 to Geographic 7, flight level 170, initial flight level 180, heading 252 degrees.
I think the call sign was Genesis 07, Brisbane, Senegal, climb flight level 260, remain heading 250.
Paul, it's kind of like a patchwork quilt of Boeing and Airbus. It's really interesting, but it's great to fly.
And sorry, what's the call sign?
It's simply Genesis 7, it's general aviation call sign.
Sure I've got my lights and things on here, because the cloud is going to kind of offset against the light in the flight deck. And I reckon we can hide the tablets as well.
412, descend 7,000, Cairns QNH 1012.
Descend 7,000, QNH 1012, quarters 412.
So we're effectively getting a straight-in approach. We're joining a base, and that's it really. Straight for the ILS approach, which we've already preset for. We've got our minimum set, we've got the frequency cross-checked, we've got the missed approach briefed, and we've got all the brakes set to low as well. Yeah, MG King. So we started top descent 20 minutes early, and it was underneath nicely, and then it still lost the ball. It's a bit clunky. Cheeky Dan's waiting for the PMDG Universal Flight tablet. Hopefully that's going to come soon. Look at that. Quite hazy, so it does kind of wash out the view, but photogrammetry looks very good. Ghost Rider, welcome.
This is 07. Sorry, you're all good there, mate?
There we go.
78 firm, sorry, just had you pause there. Just confirm you're still with me.
Oh, weather change. Weird change in atmospherics there.
Qantas 412, contact Cairns approach 118 decimal 4.
So that's the Qantas flight that's ahead of us, which means it will be handed off soon.
118 decimal 4. Qantas 412, thank you.
So, it's 923. Descend flight level 130 on the transition. Speed 230, please.
Send flight level 130 and on transition, speed 230 knots, just on 923. Got an aeroplane over there somewhere, according to TCAS. A bit too far for us, I think, to see them.
Just on 923, if you're able to do me a favour, not a flavour, could you make it 240 now for me, please?
I will try my best.
What were you looking to do on descent?
Well, I was just going to keep it on managed, so it was around 280 until decel point for just on 923, but I'll reduce to 240 now.
To 923, I'll do you 260 if that's available.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Thanks, mate. I'm just worried the bloke in front might slow down a bit.
No worries.
China 07, turn right heading 285.
Turn right heading 285 degrees in.
So, speed brake out. Very nice. Look at this. Not really taken many screenshots today, to be fair. Oh no, I have. I've taken. There's 3 more I haven't uploaded. To be fair, yeah, Qantas 412, I think we've gained on them pretty quickly. I might help him a bit more, meet him in the middle at 250. Let's go idle descent as well. 4184.
Osprey 532 reports. Your miles from top of descent. 10 miles for Osprey 532. Channel 007, resume on aviation, turn right, direct Gulop, flight level 260.
Oh, Drew, hello, welcome. Just sim, yeah, Fenix is great. It depends what you want out of your own sim, though, your own experience, because if you...
This 922, descend 7000, QNH 1012.
Send 7000, let's go QNH 1002 for just on 923.
923. You can resume profile. Oh, actually, if you can do 240, that'd be great. Contact approach 118.4. See ya.
I can reduce to anything down to 220 if you want, if that helps.
220 would actually be great. Contact approach 1184. See you later, mate.
We'll go 220 and approach 118.4 for just on 923. Thanks. Good night.
Good night.
Turn right heading 120, descend 3,700.
Turn right heading 130 and descend 3,000, Qantas 412.
We go back to managed. Should go to green dot speed now.
Heading 120, descend 3,700.
1012 is the QNH.
Descend 3,700, heading 120, Qantas 412.
There we are.
Jetstar 129 on runway 15, clear to land.
Roger, clear to land, runway 15.
Joshua, yeah, we've wound the time back a bit, buddy. We'll do a little tiny bit more. Trying to balance the light on approach to get a fantastic sunset. Cairns approach, good evening. Jetstar 923's information Foxtrot. Currently 11,000 for 7,000 QNH 1012 inbound. Cody.
Jetstar 923, Cairns approach, good evening. Descend via star 6,000, expect ILS approach runway 15.
Send by star 6,000, expects ILS approach 15. Jetstar 923, g'day. Yeah, QNH 1012.
412 from that heading, intercept the localizer, cleared ILS approach.
GSX is great.
15.
I don't have Pack X though.
Qantas 412, could you repeat that please?
Qantas 412, cleared ILS approach runway 15.
Cleared to runway approach ILS 15, Qantas 412.
Cythera, good afternoon to you. Been with us for 20 months as a channel member, my goodness. Thank you for your ongoing support, buddy. Very well, thank you. I hope you're well. Get rid of the spoilers for now, just see what happens with... Oh my god, my sim has all of a sudden hung. Definitely. There we are, we're back. My goodness, a little moment of panic there. Anyway, where we got? Lights, signs. El Papino, bonjour, cheese and wine. Yeah, what that was, I would imagine, is the sim rendering in the scenery at Cairns. So we've got the Cairns enhancement mod. Flightsim.to. Orbix, for me, it's a tough decision, yeah, but for the variety, I'd get a 737 above another Airbus A320.
260, Flybe 88.
Qantas 7645, I found out the issue, my hydraulics were fucked.
Qantas 7645, understood. Let us know when you're ready for push.
Right.
Qantas 645, I had push and I had only found out that my
So it's full flat, 6,000.
wheels weren't working until I was taxiing. So that's fun.
No idea what that's supposed to mean. Something about his wheels not working.
Qantas 412 locked on localizer, runway 15.
So he's 10 miles ahead.
412, you can continue approach.
Armour spoilers. Joshua's at Cairns right now, overlooking at the airport bar, as he was the bar, as he was saying. Overlooking at the airport at a bar. Very cool. Not at the airport bar.
Just 129, a taxi via Charlie 3 to the bay.
Charlie 3 to base, just someone to ask you.
Okay, so controls visualizer doesn't really do anything in an Airbus, but we've got the landing rate monitor fired up ready as well.
Clear to land, runway 15 quarters.
Once we get nearer to the approach, and I've decided not to take any more screenshots, we will bring up the landing rate, we'll bring up the control visualizer as well from Flow as that extra widget.
Qantas 7645, I might need to restart my engine.
Qantas 4645, just let us know when you're ready for push.
Adam, it depends really. If they tell you to descend to a certain altitude, like we got for 6,000, then I go into, in an Airbus, open descent.
Jetstar 9023, descend via star 5000, cleared ILS approach runway 15, report established.
Descend via star 5000 and cleared ILS 15, report established to Jetstar 923.
Gain approach low, Osprey 784 with you, flight level 120, going to 7,000.
So that was a descend via star, so you could reasonably just put it into managed descent mode and just allow the VNAV to descend you to 5,000, but I want to be proactively underneath the glide slope.
Expect ILS runway 15, Osprey 784.
Joshua, that sounds epic. Shaquille, hello, welcome. These guys are a bit mad, aren't they, at the moment? Yeah, manage mode follows your VNAV. It's like leaving the 737 in VNAV mode. In the Airbus, it's managed mode instead. Okay. Time for the approach, folks. Wow, glide slope's just instantly captured. Just on 923 established. Ghost Rider, already done it.
Just on 923, Cairns approach.
Qantas 412, vacating runway 15.
Befego, hello to you. Yeah, the missed approach, we briefed it earlier. Turn left, track 015 degrees, intercept 15 DME arc to CS VOR, climb to 3,700 as directed by ATC. With the ILS that we're doing, it requires a turn after the middle marker.
Jetstar 923, runway 15, clear to land.
Runway 15 cleared land, Jetstar 923. $12 miles, gear down.
88, turn left, 10 degrees.
Out with a bit of drag.
50. Left heading to
Got some absolute e-soup going on here. Oh, is that what he said, Dwal? I couldn't work out what he said, to be fair. It was a continued approach. I just thought he said Jetstar 923, this is Cairns approach.
Cairns approach, Osprey 5.
But yes, you should ordinarily, you should say the continue approach instruction. I just didn't hear it. COVID brain.
737-600.
Osprey 532, Cairns approach. Good evening, descend by star to 6000. Expect ILS approach, runway 15.
Descend by the
Sounds
star
like rain.
6000, expect ILS, runway 15, Osprey 532.
It's got a full flap. My goodness.
Fly B88, verify ops normal.
Fly B88,
I mean, look at that.
A bit of a wild ride, yet we're not ops normal. We've got some issues.
And then we got some absolute hoony rain.
Descend 3,700 and advise what we can do to help you.
3,700, fly B88.
Qantas 7645.
So we should get a touchdown landing rate via this today, Flo. So pop your predictions in the live chat. I have to leave it on autopilot for now.
Qantas 7645.
Just literally staring at the instruments. No, Matthew, pretty much the same, buddy. There's the landing memos, no blue. See, usually my average is about 250 to 300 in the Fenix, so I love how you guys are so confident you're saying 150. There's the runway now. Let's manually fly the ILS, just stare at the instruments. So in theory, I just literally watch this now.
Osprey 784, descend via star 5000, cleared ILS approach, runway 15.
Descend via the star 5000, clear ILS 15, Osprey 784.
Qantas 7645 requesting taxi clearance to runway 15. Currently with you on taxiway Charlie.
Qantas 7645, taxi.
Get bumped around by the wind a little bit, make tiny little adjustments to things like pitch and roll.
Charlie 1, Bravo, Bravo 2, runway 15.
1000.
A really bad time to start to adjust lights, but
reduce the minimum approach speed.
Approach speed, Osprey 532.
I also want that contrast to be a little bit better on the display there. Oh my goodness, this is playful. Gone from crosswind now to a headwind.
Fly the 88, do not exceed 20.
I know, Dwyle. It's supposed to be a sunset landing. We tried.
88, no faster than 200.
To be fair,
100 above.
my goodness.
Minimum.
This wind is very variable. To be fair, it's such thick cloud cover that I don't think we're going to get that sunset anyway. I've wound the time back to
100.
Just after sunset regardless. Concentration time. Landing an A320 with
50,
COVID.
40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Minus 124. Reverse idle and green on both, and decelerating with a low auto brake. There you go, so top left. We press the I in a moment as well. We'll have a little look to see what information it gives us. Just going to go to manual brakes as well.
Qantas 7645 holding short, runway 15.
Qantas 7645, runway 15, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 15, Qantas 7645.
Gav was real close with 120. Oh god, I've overcooked it. That's what happens when you overlook and you do the right mouse click and the view thing, it kind of screws the sim.
Osprey 532, descend via south 5000, cleared ILS approach runway 15.
Descend by the start 5000, ILS approach runway 15, Osprey 532.
Just on 923 is vacated at Bravo.
Just on 923, taxi to the bay.
Next to the bay, thanks. Just on 923, good night.
Flighty AV8, turn left heading 180 to intercept cleared ILS approach runway 15.
That was very close, 120. So this is where the widget could come in quite handy. If we click this, look, it tells us where our touchdown was. We had a bounce. Can't hide from that now, can we? So it tells us one bounce. I think we could tell we had a bit of a bounce. G was good. And then the touchdown zone, look at that.
Qantas 7645,
It's a very nice widget. Bang centre, right on the touchdown zone.
Cliff takeoff, runway 15, 7645.
Very cool. I like that widget a lot. Tough wind, Alan, wasn't it? Ordinarily, I would have left that on a lot longer, but I wanted to kind of throw myself in with the challenge.
Okay, approach Osprey 532 is established 18 miles.
Osprey 532.
Hello, first Qantas 456, descending 7000.
Standard Sobo default airport. Can't see a chuffing thing.
Cairns approach, descend via start 6000, expect ILS 15.
Descend 6000, expect ILS 15.
That's gate 21.
Osprey 784, runway 15, clear to land.
Clear to land, Osprey 784.
Let's try and find me marshaller.
Flight 88, reduce speed to 160 knots or less.
Oh, that's the marshaller.
160 knots and less, then we
I need number 19.
with that aircraft ahead.
Flight 88.
Oh, chaffing it up. Try marking.
The chosen position is too small for your aircraft.
No, it's not. We see a marshaller.
Qantas 7645, Cairns approach.
Oh, I forgot how difficult it is to have MSFS default sceneries.
Qantas 7645, A-firm, we're just wanting to get your departure report.
GSX is great. Problem is, with default airports and default custom stuff, it doesn't work that well.
Verify your level.
I've got no idea where the marshaller is, so we will be our own marshaller.
Qantas 7645, Cairns approach, identified, climb by flight level 180.
Oh, my goodness, the brakes.
Climb by flight level 180. Qantas 7645.
There we are.
Verify where you're tracking.
Park brakes. What the hell's happened to that?
checking, I'll go Qantas 456.
Very weird.
Qantas 456, cancel star, fly heading 080, descend 5000.
Heading 080, descend 5000, Qantas 456. Change approach, velocity 2472, with you descending to speed 210 and to altitude 7000 by the star, inbound Cody.
My goodness, is that actual spray?
For the 2472, stand by.
It is as well, that's incredible.
Flyby 88, cans approach.
Flyby 88 going around runway 15.
Flyby 88, turn left, heading 010, climb 4000.
So on the
Left 010, climb 4000.
camera view, to increase.
645 requesting the wind.
Didn't even notice that massive mountain on the top. Dino, we have landed already, yes. We're going to wind the time back because I've never been to Cairns in the sim, so I kind of want to see what it's a little bit, you know, what it's like scenery wise here. Oh, look at this, this is spectacular.
Osprey 532, thanks for your help. Runway 15, clear to land.
Nice long runway,
Land runway 15,
fairly average looking default airport scenery. Again, it's another airport that we would probably quite like to see a payware airport scenery for, right?
Qantas 456, turn right, heading...
One's cleared to land, so we'll watch a few. We've got, was it 4 touchdowns to watch?
Return heading 120, clear ILS 15, Qantas 456.
Oh, Dino, nice. How did the event go then? That's interesting. So you know how we had that touchdown rating of, what was it, 100 and something? 124? FS Hub says minus 238 foot per minute. So they're totally different figures. We'll go with the better one. Perhaps holding 160 till 4. Yeah, that's something that I forgot to do. We've got Virgin Australia, 2472. The last one is Ian. Lucas, it is GSX by Parallel 42. It's Flow Pro specifically by Parallel 42. I think I said GSX, didn't I? So Parallel 42 created this. It's a wheel called Flow. There's a couple of options: Flow Essentials, Flow Free, and Flow Pro. This is Flow Pro, and it allows you to then add on things like different widgets, like the landing rate widget we had on touchdown. You can customize a couple of wheels for things. So specific to the A320, you can select gear down and that sort of thing too. Oh, Dino, nice. Robbie, nice. Brisbane for Noumea, Qantas 89 on Atlanta.
Turn left, heading 290.
Yeah, so you can add GSX into it, look here, with another widget. It's on Orbex.
Velocity 2472, descend via star 5000, cleared ILS approach runway 15.
Here we go. There's the touchdown zone, centre of the screen.
Clear via the star for approach for runway 15, velocity 2472.
Adam, good luck. Let's know how you get on. Lucas, it's part of Epidemic Sound.
Turn left, heading 250, descend 3000.
Oh, that was a spectacular touchdown.
250, descend.
Very nicely done in the 737-600. And that one has actually got the Australian registration, VHDNK. It's our Aussie dinky jet. What was the name of the song? Ooh, let me find out. Papaya Island by Dio. If you want to find out more, Lucas, you click the Epidemic Sound link in the description for today's live stream. It'll take you to the site. Basically, you have to pay for an annual license to play the music, use the music to then have it classed as sort of royalty free because you paid for the royalties to use the tunes. It's about 90 quid a year for the music license. Got another one on final, a few miles behind.
532's vacated runway on to Bravo.
Osprey 532, Cairns approach. Taxi to the bay.
Taxi to the bay, Osprey 532, cheers.
Flight 88, turn left, heading 180 to intercept cleared ILS.
Badger, nice.
Runway 15.
Left 180, cleared ILS 15, flight 88.
Sanders, welcome. That's the state of play now. In fact, we've already got one on short final. Melbourne's busy, Sydney's busy, Brisbane's got a trickle of flights, Perth's got one or two, Adelaide's got one or two.
Qantas 456, runway 15, clear to land.
Runway 15, clear to land, Qantas 456. Qantas 7645, holding at 18,000.
Qantas 7645, Brisbane Centre offline, Monchin.com 228. See you and sorry for the delay.
Could you repeat the
Oh, it's a retro route.
frequency, please?
Qantas 7645, Unicom 122.8.
Mats, uninstall it, reinstall it again. It means it's not quite compiled properly, or something's gone wrong with it compiling somewhere. Oh, that was a very good touchdown.
Qantas 7645, good day.
7645.
Lucas, so you just go on to my.vatsim.net/events and it will show you the events calendar for the whole month. Next one's coming in a moment.
Captain, you have an incoming direct message.
Flight 88, runway 15, clear to land.
15, clear to land, flight 88.
Qantas 456, vacated runway 15.
Qantas 456, taxi to the bay via Bravo.
Taxi to the via Bravo. Good night, Qantas 436.
You know, 100%. I do want to do more so that we get a bit more of a balance of those. There's a lot of you that watch in Australia, New Zealand, that side of the world. So I do try. I'm going to try to be a bit more proactive in doing some early streams every now and again. Stops you guys having to pull all-nighters as well to fly along. Gav and that fly along at like 1, 2, 3 in the morning for a 3-hour flight, and you're basically standing up all night, which is incredible. So the least I could do is kind of return the favour and fly along. Oh, it's a Dash 8. So this is an FSLTL model. Not sure what to expect from it, but not quite sure if it's meant to look like that though. Yeah, I think FSLTL need to relook at that model. Very weird. First time seeing one of these though. That looks better now. Oh, maybe not. I don't know if we've just seen a crash or not. Hobart to Queenstown. Beautiful flights and scenery. Oh, it's a Flybe. This FSLTL model is obviously very broken for the Dash 8, isn't it? No longer in existence. So that was probably a very good touchdown. But the model is all a bit messed up. I have no idea. Another one inbound? Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to do that. Normally.
Cairns, approach Flybe 88, we're for Bay 12. Alpha.
Flybe 88, taxi to the Bay, give way to the corner from Charlie.
Give way to the Qantas on Charlie and
basically it was only using
the
the BMX trick, as badges say, it was using one wheel because they can't afford to use all three. Milk Run Monday.
2472, thanks for your help, runway 15, clear to land.
Is Ian last man in?
Clear to land, runway 15, velocity 2472.
7:30Z to 11:30Z, always super busy. 30 to 50 aircraft go through the night, my goodness. Milk Run Monday. We'll have to work out when the next one is then, actually. It says every Monday, that's the clue. Let's have a look. Well, the next Monday that I could actually do would be, believe it or not, the 27th of March. Oh no, I tell a lie. The 20th of February, Monday. That's an option. We could do it literally this Monday. Is there one this Monday? Don't forget tomorrow, guys, as a reminder, we're flying Amazon's Prime Air, ASL Airlines Limited, cargo ops in the 737-800 BCF, a PMDG 738, and we're going to be heading out of Hanover. They're going to be staying up for 24 hours from 7 PM today, and they're doing a 24 hours and more event through to 9 PM tomorrow. And we're going to take part. We're going to depart Hanover. We're going to fly into Oslo's Gardermoen Airport, the brand new Orbeck scenery, which released yesterday. We're going to go in live for a first look, and we're going to compare it against that freeware that we've enjoyed multiple times in the past as well. So a couple of hours flight. It's about an hour each way. We're going to fly there and back again on the VATSIM network. And we will have, well, full ATC at Hanover at the very least, hopefully some at Oslo too. The Jeff Bezos delivery services blown up is saying yes. Charles, no worries buddy, thank you very much. Hopefully you guys have all appreciated the earlier stream time as well. Melbourne to Sydney, is it this Monday? Because we could potentially do it for Monday morning. Do an early one. Bingo. Here's Ian. Great touchdown. Awesome. Matt, no worries at all, buddy. Great for you to join us. Great to see you've got the sim back all installed and working again. There we are. Thank you to all of our controllers that have stayed online for us as well. I know the event actually finished an hour, an hour and a half ago now. My goodness. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having us in Australia as well. Those of you in Australia that usually fly through the night, hopefully this is a bit more of a more reasonable stream time for you guys as well. As we said, tomorrow 1 o'clock UK time, so 1300 Zulu, we are back in Europe for a flight in that 737-800 Hanover to Oslo and back again on VATSIM. And then by the sounds of it, we're going to throw ourselves into Milk Run Monday, probably from 8 or 8:30 Zulu, that we will join the event perhaps, and we'll fly Melbourne to Sydney, if that's the thing. But we'll discuss it a little bit more in Discord so I can get the idea of my head around the routing and everything else as well. Again, thank you to everyone who flew along. Thanks to our ATC. Enjoy the rest of Saturday or Sunday if you're in Australia, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another one. Thanks for watching. Take care.